Develop English thinking for natural communication, the ultimate path to ditching the translation brain. Have you ever experienced this? You hear a sentence in English, first translate it into Chinese in your mind, understand it, then formulate a response in Chinese, and finally translate it back into English to speak. This entire process is lengthy and deliberate. While the other person has already moved on to the next topic, you're still stuck processing the previous sentence internally. This is the classic translation brain mode, and it's the biggest obstacle to achieving natural communication. True natural communication is the seamless connection between thought and language. The key to achieving this lies in cultivating English thinking, learning to use English to think, understand, and react, allowing language to connect directly with situations, imagery, and logic, rather than being routed through your native tongue. English thinking isn't some mysterious concept. It refers to a state of mental operation where one can understand, think, and express directly in English, completely bypassing the native language intermediary, much like a native English speaker does. The key to natural communication is cultivating this mindset. This article will reveal a practical path from translation brain to English brain. What is English thinking? English thinking is not an abstract notion. It refers to a mental ability to process information and react directly in English. Its core characteristics are direct association. Seeing apple brings the image of the fruit or directly triggers taste memory, rather than first converting it to the Chinese characters finger. English word order and logic. Organizing thoughts according to English sentence structures, like subject verb object order, clause placement, instead of first constructing a Chinese run on sentence and then translating it word for word. Functional usage. Knowing instinctively when to use could you for a polite request or what's up for a casual greeting, without needing to think about their equivalent Chinese sentence patterns. Why is English thinking so important? 1. Speed and fluency. The essence of communication is immediacy. Eliminating the intermediate translation step allows your reaction speed to increase exponentially, making conversations flow smoothly. 2. Accuracy and authenticity. Many English expressions don't have direct one-to-one equivalents in Chinese. For instance, it's up to you roughly corresponds to jura chugini, but its authentic usage, context, and nuance are easily lost in translation. English thinking lets you understand and use these chunks of meaning directly. 3. Reducing cognitive load. Juggling multiple tasks simultaneously, understanding, translating, formulating, retranslating, overloads the brain. Using English directly means you only handle one task, making communication feel effortless. How to effectively cultivate English thinking. Cultivating English thinking is a systematic reshaping process that requires effort across 3 stages: input, internalization, and output. 1. Input stage. Create a comprehensible language environment. Start with listening and watching, not just reading and writing. Immerse yourself extensively in authentic English audio and video. Choose materials suitable for your level, e.g., cartoons, sitcoms, podcasts, vlogs, focusing especially on content where you can understand about 70% or more. This comprehensible input is the foundation for the brain to absorb language patterns. Focus on the whole, not isolated words. Don't just listen for single words. Pay attention to chunks of language and complete sentences. Observe how people string words together to express a complete idea. For example, don't just memorize take, but remember take a shower, take a break, take a chance. Observe context and body language. When watching videos, notice the speaker's expressions, gestures, and the situation. This helps you directly link language to specific contexts, building a direct situation-language reflex. 2. Internalization stage. Reshape your brain's neural pathways. Repetition and imitation. Imitation is fundamental to learning. For authentic expressions and useful sentences, practice shadowing and recitation. The goal isn't rote memorization, but rather to engrave English sentence structures, rhythm, and intonation into your muscle memory and brain circuits through extensive repetition, visualization, and sensory connection. When learning new words or sentences, consciously create images, sounds, or even feelings in your mind. When learning, the waves crashed against the shore, hear the sound of the waves and see the spray. Instead of silently reciting the Chinese translation, how long, use English for internal monologue. This is a crucial step. Spend some time each day thinking about your daily life in English. For example, upon waking up, think, what's the weather like? I need to wear a jacket. While eating, think, this tastes good. I wonder how it's cooked. This significantly strengthens your ability to process information directly in English. 3. Output stage. Consolidate and verify through use. Start speaking practice with description. Force yourself to practice uninterrupted English description. Take a picture and describe everything you see. After watching a movie, try to summarize the plot in English. This exercise forces you to mobilize your known vocabulary and structures and express yourself directly, bypassing Chinese. It's excellent training for reinforcing English thinking. Embrace imperfect fluency. Don't wait until every grammatical detail is perfect before you dare to speak. The core of communication is conveying meaning. Allow yourself to make mistakes. Prioritize fluency. Your accuracy will naturally improve through trial and error. Find low-pressure communication environments. Find language partners who don't make you nervous or simulate conversations by talking to yourself. The key is to create an environment free from psychological burden, allowing you to focus on the process of thinking in English and speaking it out itself, rather than worrying about judgment. The mindset shift from learner to user. Finally, make a fundamental mindset shift. Stop seeing yourself merely as an English learner, but rather position yourself as an English user. Your goal isn't just to pass an exam, but to use this tool to acquire information, express yourself, and connect with the world. When your focus shifts from "is it correct" to "is it effective," and from learning the language to using the language to do things, English thinking will quietly take root. Conclusion: cultivating English thinking is a journey from translation to directness, a learned revolution for your brain. It cannot be achieved overnight, but through consistent and correct practice, you can gradually break free from the constraints of your native language. You will ultimately reach that state where thought and language become one, where before you even open your mouth, your thoughts are already in English. When that happens, natural communication is no longer a goal, but a natural outcome. Remember, the ultimate goal is not to become a perfect English machine, but to become a communicator who can express themselves freely and naturally. Let go of the fear of grammatical errors. Embrace the imperfections in the process. And when you truly start thinking in English, the door to natural communication is already open for you.